the distant past, English likely only had 4 vowels, or maybe even only 2. Of course, if you go back far enough, it's not technically English anymore, but the language that would evolve into English. The language I'm talking about is Proto-Indo-European, which also evolved into a bunch of other languages. But before evolving into Proto-Germanic, which had a decent amount of vowels, and then English, which has a ton of vowels, it was very different. Based on comparative analysis with other Indo-European languages, it's often reconstructed as only having like 4 or 2 vowels. If we're going with 4, it would just be o, and o, and then if we're just going with 2, it's just and o. So essentially just the vowels represented by the letters E and O in English, and then the long forms of those. No need for the letters A, I, or U. But how is this possible, especially given that a lot of the Indo-European descendants did have vowels like A, E, and U? Also, why are Proto-Indo-European words like this literally written with the vowel U if it was supposedly not in the language? Well, first, it's important to clarify what linguists mean when they say that a language has a vowel or a consonant. For instance, linguists would say that the word get ends in the consonant t, but I don't say get to, I say get. And if I say the word getting, I say it different there too. But because these variations are entirely predictable based on where the T appears in the word, they're not considered new consonants. So it's the same underlying sound, but it sounds different when you say it in different contexts. And so the idea is that Proto-Indo-European only had a very small amount of underlying vowels. But the way that those and different consonants would get pronounced in different contexts sometimes led to the appearance of more vowels. So in this word yugom, it's written with that U, but that's actually just to make it easier to read. The root is actually yog with the consonant W, not a vowel. And then in the nominative singular form, an ending is added and then the E is dropped. And so the underlying sound is still the consonant W, but it just kind of sounds like a U when it's not next to another vowel. Or like the vowel E sometimes got pronounced more like an A before the laryngeal consonant ch. So the words just kind of sound like they have more vowels than they really do. But then later, descendant languages gradually reanalyze these sounds as actual underlying vowels.